Hi, welcome to a new week of school. Today we are talking about the rule of 10. This is something that I've mentioned before, and I wanted to really dive deep into it because it is going to help us understand our when we begin multiplying with decimals. Okay, so today we are working out of our class notebook. And if you notice, I have some notes here that I am going to take. And what I want to happen is when I take the notes, I want you to do the exact same thing. So you may have to pause the video a few times to copy down what I am doing. But these need to be filled out when you turn in your assignment. Okay, so let's talk about the rule of 10. After you watch this video, you're going to actually go ahead and pause right now and watch the Number Rock Place Value song. Okay, so the reason I wanted you to watch the Number Rock Place Value song is it helps us understand that our place value system is based on 10. So let's look at our place values. We have 100, tens, ones, and our decimal is right here. We have whole numbers on this side, whole. And if we went on this side of the decimal, we have part. The Number Rock song talked all about our whole number place values, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. But in the song, he says the pattern never ends. And that is true from no matter how high up we go in our place value system. If we have 10 of one thing, it moves to the next place value. What's great is it also includes our parts. So our place values that have to do with our parts are the exact same. So let's take a look. So if I had 9 ones and I was going to add one more, I would now have 1 10 and 0 ones, right? Okay, so let's look at our tenths. That's what's next on this side of the decimal. If I had 9 tenths and I added one more, well, I couldn't fit 10 tenths in one place value. Each place value only has enough room for one digit, and 10 is 2 digits, 1, 2. So what happens is, once we add that last tenth, we move to 1, 1, and 0 tenths. Okay? Would it work with hundredths? Well, yes, if I have 9 hundredths and I added one more, oops, why did I put a 0? I added one more, I would then have 10 hundredths. Well, can I fit 10 into this one place value? No, place values can only hold one digit. So I would move up. I'm going to erase what we did here. Move up to 1 tenth and 0 hundredths. Okay, so now that we know that, oops, I'm sorry, did not mean to do that. Let's take a look at our notes. So for the rule of 10, multiplying a number by 10 increases the number by blank place value. Okay, so let's look. In our example here, 5 times 10 equals 50. Well, how many place values did the 5 move up? Well, let's take a look. Right now it's in the ones. But after we multiply by 10, what place value is the 5 in? Now he's in the tens, and we have 0 ones. So multiplying a number by 10 moved my 5 up 1 place value. This moves the decimal blank place to the blank. Let's take a look. Well, in my example, 5 times 10, my decimal is right here. I have 5 ones and 0 tenths. But when I multiplied it by 10, well, what happened to it? It started here, right? This is where my decimal was. But the decimal in 50 is on this side. Because we know because it is right after the ones place value. So this moves the decimal. He moved how many places? Well, he only moved once. He moved 1 place to the, what direction? He moved to the right. I'm going to try drawing. There we go. That says right, by the way, if you would like me to. Right. Okay, let's take a look at our second example. 52 times 10. Well, we know if we multiply 52 times 10, that is 520. Let's check and see if our place value still moved one time. When we begin, our 5 is in the tens in 50, and we have 2 ones. So our 2 is in the ones place value. After we multiply him by 10, we're in 520. What place value is the 5 in? Well, he's in the hundreds. 520, 20 is 2 tens and 0 ones. So did everything move up 1 place value? Yes. The 5 started in the tens, he ended in the hundreds. The 2 started in the ones, he ended in the tens. And let's take a look. What is our 0? What place value is our 0 in here? Well, he's in the tenths. And where did he end up? He is in the ones. So let's go ahead and add our decimal and check how many times our decimal moved. Well, he started between the 2 and the 0. So he started here, and we know that our decimal is always on the other side of the ones. So he's going to end right here. Did he move 1 place to the right? Yes, he did. Okay, let's check one more time. Okay, in this example, we have 5 tenths. So let's mark our place values. Right now we have 0 ones, and we have 5 tenths. This is the tenths place value. When we multiply this by 10, what happens? Well, in our number 5, what place value is the 5 in? He's in the ones. That's an O, by the way. And so he did. He moved up 1 place value. He moved from the tenths up to the ones. And let's look at our decimal. Well, he started on the left side of the 5. And we know he's going to end on the right side of the 5 because our decimal is always on the right side of the ones. All right. Well, let's move on. What if we multiplied a number by 100? What happens? Well, let's look at our example. Our 5 times 100 we know is 500. So let's label our place values and see how many times he moved. In the number 5 and 0 tenths, our 5 is in the ones, and we have 0 tenths. When we multiplied him by 100, he moved from the ones, tens, to hundreds. So how many places did he move? If you said 2, you're right. He moved 2 places. And how about our decimal? Well, he started on this side of the 5. And let's label our 500. This is tens, this is ones. How many times did he move? 1, 2. He moved twice because we know that the decimal is always on the right side of the ones. So when we multiply by 100, the decimal moves 2 places to the right. Let's take one more look at an example. So we have 51 hundredths times 100. What's going to happen? Well, let's label our place values and check. So right now our 0 is in the ones because look, there's our decimal on the right side of our ones. Our 5 is in the tenths. Ooh, this is hard to write. Tenths. And then our 1 is in the hundredths. Okay, TH for hundredths. After we multiply him by 100, our 5 should move up 2 place values according to our rule. Well, in 51, what place value is the 5 in? If you said tens, you're right. So he started in the tenths, and he moved up to the ones and then the tens. So he did. He moved up twice. Let's look at our 1 here. Our 1 started in the hundredths, and he moved 1, 2 places to our ones. Let's check our decimal. He started on this side of the 5, and after we multiplied, he moved 1, 2, because we know that the decimal is on the right side of the ones. Okay, so now you're going to solve 5 problems showing that you understand the rule of 10. So what I want you to do is first place the decimal in each whole number of your factors. I'm going to add that of your factors. So let's take a look in our example. We have 5 times 10. I need to put the decimal in my factors. So my decimal should go here because I know that in the number 5, he is in the ones place value, and my decimal is always on the right side of the ones. And in my 10, he's going to go right here because in 10, I have 1, 10, 0 ones, and decimal. Well, I just know that 5 times 10 equals 50. So we just did find the product. That's step 2. Third, place the decimal in the product. Well, if I label my place value 5 tens, 0 ones, I know that my decimal goes right here on this side of the ones. If you look, you have a couple that already have a decimal in one of their factors. So do you need to put the decimal in these 2 numbers? No, it's already there. But don't forget to do it in your whole numbers in 100 and 1000. Okay? I hope this helps you understand our rule of 10, and I will see you online tomorrow.